Hello, my dear students. Let us start today with your Unit-4, as we have already done two sections from the Unit-4 of your English Access book. So today let us go to the third section, which is actually a poem, a very beautiful poem written by Patrick O'Donnell. Now, this poem will basically tell us that the reason behind man, the reason behind human being indulging in wars. If you see history, you will see that the man, human being, we have fought many wars. Yes, some of the wars have been fought for noble reasons, for honorable reasons. But the question is, all these wars that had taken place in the past, have all wars been fought for noble and honorable reasons? That's a question mark. Yes, reasons, noble reasons, as I told you, such as to defend one's own nation, to protect your country against the foreign invaders. Like recently, you might have come across the news channels, right, where our Indian soldiers, they were engaged into, it was just, you can say, the beginning of the first phase of the war with the Chinese soldiers, as because they were trying to invade our country. They were trying to occupy some portion of our country. So where some of our soldiers, in the process, they have even lost their life, they have sacrificed their life. So such type of reasons are called noble reasons. Okay, when we fight for our country, to protect our own country from the foreign invaders, or to protect our freedom, culture. And in such type of wars, it's very easy to motivate the people so that they could be engaged in such war with all, and even they can put up with all the hardships and loss that they have to make, even the sacrifices that is needed to ensure victory. But here in this poem, we will see that, as I told you, if you see history, you'll also find that sometimes wars are created by groups, by some few handful groups of people, to further their own selfish end. And such type of wars, do not have any kind of popular support. So let us see this poem, as it is titled that they gave us a war nobody wanted. So no one wanted this war, but they gave us. So what war that they gave? What was the type of war, and who are these they referring to? Who did not want to indulge into war? I hope you got the introduction about the poem. Now let me take you to the poem. Here in this poem, we will see that the poem is, it's very explicit, it's very concise. It can be easily interpreted as a description of the USA's, United States, entrance into the Second World War. If you look into history, you'll get to know that when the Second World War took place, that is from 1939 to 1945, US never wanted to enter into the Second World War, as because they were very much aware that what are the consequences of a war. Yes, no matter one may win, but in the process of winning, even we have to lose our own people. Ultimately, it's of no use. If you win by losing your near and dear ones, that win is of no use. So USA the so-called United States or America, they tried their best not to enter into the Second World War. But they were forced to enter. They were compelled. That's what. Look at the title, I repeat. They gave us a war nobody wanted. They were forced to enter into the World War. Second World War, I mean. Okay? As because there were two World War up till now. The first and the second. Let's pray and hope, that the third World War never takes place. Anyways, coming back to the text. So here, it begins with the isolationism in the US and the public's lack of concern for the war, especially in the overseas. In this poem, you will see that it explains the manufacture and sale of weapons to the allies. Now, who are these allies? Just to brief you, a short introduction. This World War was fought between two groups. Okay, you can say that there were two groups. So among these two groups, one was the allies. But as I told you that here in the poem we will see that I explain it will tell us the manufacture and the sale of weapons to the allies, but no manpower. And also you will see the denial that the US was part of the war. Okay, especially when Germans began to intercept merchant ships carrying weapons. In this poem, we will see that it goes on to describe US preparation for war after Pearl Harbor. Actually, in that Pearl Harbor, just a small for your knowledge, the reason behind US entering the Second World War was that the US naval base, which was in Pearl Harbor, that was attacked by Japan. Okay, so see, I repeat the line, the one which I told you now. Here we will also see that the US preparation for war after the Pearl Harbor, and as well as the propaganda and warmongering to rile the population into a state of fervor, you can say. Actually, this poem, it goes on to describe the common thought. There was a common thought in the minds of the people during the Second World War that it will all be over by Christmas. But then look at the way in this 1, 2, 3, 6. There are 6 stanzas in this poem. Total you will find 24 lines. Here you will see that all the people, as you read the poem, they all believe that this war would get over by Christmas, and then it describes the notion that history is written by the victor. This piece of writing, this poem, is very much compelling in the argument of resistance towards war during that era of peace after the First World War. When did the First World War take place? 1914 to 1918, right? Here in this poem, it also impersonates the kind of, the hippie view of that time. The poem here encapsulates an entire war just in 24 lines. The whole of war here. And that too from the perspective of a man looking back on the events that he may have experienced. I hope you got what I said. It's basically describing about the reason why US entered into the war, where they willingly have, by their own choice, or they were compelled to do so. What were the scenario? What had happened during war? How was the environment, the situation, the losses, the fear that people had in their mind, the hope, the feelings. So the whole situation of the Second World War is very well drafted in this 24 line. Alright? Please go through the poem, and if you do not understand any line, any stanza, feel free to get back to me. Okay? Study well. God bless you.